In the last half episode, I got the 4th boss cell, so I think it's about time to jump right into nightmare runs. Am I ready? Absolutely not. There are still so many things that I need to have unlocked and buffed up and everything, but, well, let's just do it anyway. And for this inaugural run, I'm going to be doing... Wait, that's the run? Boomerang, wave denial... Oh, no. Okay. So this isn't actually all that bad, because the thing with wave denial is that the damage that you actually get off that weapon is not usually the most damage that you're going to be doing with the weapon. Nah, it's all about knocking enemies into pits and letting gravity do the work, letting those bodies hit the floor, drowning pool style. And on top of that, something like Boomerang, that's actually a type of build that I've been wanting to do for a little while here. It's got really great rally, it's got survival scaling, can really do a lot of damage at higher levels. And also, you can double tap it. You can see that I even have both of the boomerangs on the mapped to the same button right now for the maximum amount of these things being thrown out at once. I don't know how well this is going to go, but I'm thinking that if I go full-on survival, get a ton of health, and you know, just try to use Wave Denial to be taking out all of the riff-raff regular enemies, you know, just knocking them... Because it's entirely possible to be able to knock enemies down to pits a lot better now, because they teleport to you, like that. And then they'll fall off into pits, like that. It's easy to group up a ton of dudes, and this only having a 3-second cooldown, you can spam that thing like crazy. So this might be better than it initially looks. We'll see. We'll see. And I do think that I'm going to go full-on survival, just because, despite the fact that the... See? I told you it's good. Because despite the fact that the run technically has me using a bunch of tactic scaling mutations, if I only have 2 items unlocked, I think it's going to be much easier to... Come on now. Well, here's a good example of the rally. There you go. It's going to be much easier just to get colorless versions of the Wave of Denial, and even then, again, not really the main way that I'm going to be getting damage out of this weapon. So, we'll see. We'll see. It's going a little bit against the spirit of the run, but I'm going to be going into potentially like the Sepulcher and the hand fight using a tactics build and no real defensive items. I guess kind of Wave of Denial. So I think I got to kind of bend the rules on this one a little bit compared to what people originally asked for. Oh, come on now. Well, anyway, so if you are unaware of what 4-cell mode is like, it is an entirely different ballgame compared to 3-cell mode. Obviously, in the 1.1 update, enemies are teleporting to you. That's a big thing just by itself. But if you've never seen 4-cell mode before, there is now a new mechanic introduced called Malaise, the horrible sickness that enveloped the island, turning all of its inhabitants into the undead. At some point in time in the past? I don't know. Anyway, it's represented on above my health bar with those little orange blocks. Every single time I get hit by an enemy, that increases by 1. When it fills up, I start to take damage so rapidly that it's basically instant death. Let's just say it's instant death. You can get rid of those points with a potion charge. Remember, you only get 4 in the entire run, and there's no way I'm going to be able to buy any from shops because it's just too damn expensive. And that will remove 5 points of Malaise. Taking the YOLO mutation will remove all of it when you die once. And finding uninfected food will remove a point. Infected food will add a point, so you better hope that you're getting lucky as far as what type of food you're finding here. Every shop always has at least 1 piece of uninfected food. That's not that many points of uninfected food, it should go without saying. So you gotta be careful, and that's why even with a survival-based run, it's actually quite difficult to... Sure. Even with a survival-based run, it's actually quite difficult to, you know, not get killed. You can't just tank your way through enemies because the Malaise will get you. Which is why Will you just hit the guy already? Come on now. Also, that was liposuction. It gives me that extra gold cell whenever enemies drop cells. Hey, this is exactly what I was looking for. So let's just replace you, and despite not going for attack this run, still getting quite a bit of it anyway. That's fine, though. I'm not... I'll take as much health as I can get, after all. I'm glad that there was a cutscene happening at that point in time, because otherwise I would have been dead. Wave Denial's also pretty good for countering a lot of these schmoes as they're throwing bombs at me. Reflects them back pretty easily. Yes, one of the interesting things about this run is, for some reason, they have me taking a cooldown reduction mutation, which is strange because there's no... This is an item with a 3-second cooldown. I don't really need any of that going on there. I mean, I guess technically, if I really do it, if I do it right, I could maybe like chain use the Wave of Denial over and over, because enemies don't teleport to you all at once. They teleport to you one at a time. And I thought I was going to go right into that ball and chain and just end this run right now. That would have been harrowing. Yeah, but even then, I don't really see too much usage out of it. Also, one of the really great things about... Oh, God. One of the really great things about the... I don't know, I forgot what I was saying because I was about to die there. Well, probably something about how Wave of Denial is great, except it's not going to be doing me any favors in the boss fights, because bosses don't really get knocked around by it too much, and like I said, well, stuff like bleeding and extra damage to bleeding is pretty good. If I can get like poison on there too. That's pretty much the one type of thing. That's the one use case where the Wave of Denial could possibly be good in like a boss fight, or, anytime you're in a place where you can't just knock enemies off of ledges over and over, is that you can also use it to apply some damage over time stuff to dudes. And this is going to be a bad thing occurring. I didn't quite get him off. That's okay, though, because I can always try it again. Just gotta knock them off the edge there, and they will take so much damage that they will almost instantly die. Okay, well, no, there we go. There's one. Also, another very useful thing is that if you knock an enemy on top of another enemy, it will do even more damage. So, knock them off. There we go. And that's actually pretty easy to do when you're working with... Sure, just for the health. And that's actually pretty easy to knock an enemy on top of another enemy when you're working with elites like that, because their little buddies will tend to follow suit after they go off the cliff. Something a little bit better, marginally better. I would like to try to go for 100% on poison and see if I might be able to get a Wave of Denial with poison on it. But that's also, it's a rare-ish type of... Well, this is going to be an issue. It's a rare-ish type of thing to get, so it's not really something that I'm expecting to see a whole lot. The elite! And the worst part about that elite is that he will deal a ton of malaise to you. Just because it doesn't do too much damage does not mean that you are free from getting malaised up. Even if it's a single hit point of damage, that is still malaise that you're getting on your character. Maybe, like, replace you just because I got that ammo +1? I know I got double ammo, but that's even more ammo. I can't even get rid of all three of them at once. They come back fast enough. I guess when I'm against an enemy, it'll get kind of hung up on an enemy for long enough for me to get some use out of that, but that's also one of those, you really want to rely on that for your damage? And it's like, no, I don't. That said, yeah, no, I think that this is actually a very good run. It's just, I think this is a very good idea for a run, especially in 4-cell mode, as much as I was bellyaching about it before. The only issue that I really got with it is that the mutation choice here is pretty bad. Sorry to say. If I was going to choose it, it would probably be, getting dead inside almost immediately, getting... let's say necromancy, which at later levels, you can gain like up to 3% per kill. And when you're going for all of these dudes at once, it's really not too difficult to do, especially when you're doing stuff like this. However, it's just, yeah, with the stuff I'm working with right now, Parting Gift does have some synergy with Wave of Denial because you can push the bombs that enemies drop around. What's up with it? What's up with that? It's just like one little tiny square of ground just in the middle of that area, and I can see it over there, and there's nothing in there. All right. So yeah, overall, I think that I'm not going to say this has a chance at like beating anything, but I do think it's got a lot more of a chance than maybe anything except for going full-on overpowered nonsense. Nah, I can't get in there or anything. Strange. Yeah, overpowered nonsense, ice shard, infantry, a grenade again, because it's so easy to get stuff like, can't quite hit him off. Well, maybe I can get up here. Yes, that's... See, like I said, you don't even need to have the actual... You don't even need to have a bunch of tactics to make that good. Just pushing enemies off of areas is surprisingly effective. And that works regardless of how upgraded or, you know, what the percentage of extra damage you're getting off of it. 150% on my Wave Denial 6, for example, pales in comparison to knocking an enemy off the tower there. Alright, I think that there's one area where you can knock a lot of dudes off. It's actually both the ossuary and the... Both the ossuary and the ramparts are actually very good for being able to knock enemies down. However, ossuary is going to have more chances. I want to say up to 3 different chances of getting cursed chests. And in more stats in general, I want to say. So I think it's the better choice here. Although, you know, as much damage as you can get knocking enemies off of ledges, if you knock enemies into pits, that's an instant kill on the ramparts. That's also like how hard do you need to kill these things? But still. Oh, and the other thing too is that going into the ramparts, there are now cannibals in there. And those enemies are kind of horrible to fight, so maybe just avoid that for the time being. And anything here? Maybe I got like invisibility or something. But even then, this is a build that has enough range that I'm not too worried about being invisible. I don't know. I suppose we'll see. In the meantime, I guess like extended healing would be pretty good. Recovery could be pretty good. I just continue to go on with some of the gold reserves V, because I'm eventually going to want that, even though it's going to take some time to get to that point. So I'll get stuff like inflammable oil on enemies pretty easily. 3-second cooldown. I mean, it's not quite the damage that you'll be getting off of the... It's not quite the damage that you'll be getting off of a infantry grenade, but the cooldown and the application of oil, like the easy application of oil, does make it kind of tempting to work with that build. Doesn't have brutality scaling though. Again, not that that really matters at all, but still. And there's the one kind of annoying thing with using Wave Denial like that. Areas that are just slightly too small to knock enemies off of ledges. That said, I mean, like every other area in this entire place has some place where you can be knocking enemies down pretty trivially. And one of the things that I do really like about Wave Denial is that it is completely damage agnostic, in the sense that you can use this at any level of difficulty and it's going to be doing a lot of damage, period. It's like, this is doing as much damage on like 3-cell mode as it's doing on like 4-cell mode. Which is to say, a lot. Oh, if I knocked him on top of that elite, that would have been amazing. Watch out, because Thornies will continue attacking. Thornies will continue attacking, even if they are teleporting to you. It's actually one of their very fun, irritating things about it. I think they're the one enemy that can still teleport while in the middle of an attack, so watch out for that. That said, gravity still affects them all the same. Yep, too small of a gap. And not here, though. Already up to 20 kills. It's pretty nice. It's just, yeah, it has no real application in boss fights, though. So that's where the issue is going to come in. All right, just get up here. Oh, come on. You can't hit me like that there. There is at least one food shop in this area, in the one cell door, so I got to be looking for that right now. Although, if I do come across a curse chest, I'm definitely going to be taking that as soon as possible. And there we go. Victim emits a toxic cloud. There's my poison synergy. Cool. All right, and that's not only just a regular poison synergy, that's also extra damage to enemies around it, too. So that's going to be pretty useful. And that's not the same thing as the victims emit a cloud of poison on death. That is, victims just emit a cloud of poison when they're hit. Which, as you can see there, pretty effective at taking out that crew of losers. Oh, right, yeah. And sure, good enough. And then we're just going to do that and wait for them to teleport up here. And wait for them to teleport up here again. Doesn't matter how they're killed. As long as they're killed, I get my curse relief. Obviously, big issue with using Boomerang is that they are entirely stopped by the shield bearers. I mean, big issue for any ranged weaponry at all, but still. It's very annoying when you have a huge group of enemies that could all be blown off the same area, and they're just being protected by, well, something. Could be a protector, could be a shield bearer. Kind of prevents that from happening. Oh, come on, how do you even see me? Haha, good stuff. Okay, 5 points of... 5 points of Malaise is about the point in time when I want to think about using at least one potion charge. If I had the heart, it might be worth waiting until I get... Come on. If I had the potion charge, it might be worth waiting until I get 10 points, dying from infection, and then just having that completely undone by using the heart, but at the same time, it's like all of these things are very valuable, and I do not want to be wasting time. Do not want to be wasting resources, not time. Time is the only resource that I have a lot of in this. And I could be taking it slower, but at the same time, come on, I'm doing fine. I'm doing fine here. There's no issues as of just yet. As soon as I find that food shop, I should actually be pretty good for health, at least for the time being. I'm already up to 6k health, so. And then we're gonna be very careful here. All right, well, that didn't even matter at all. I was gonna try to get him poisoned. Do I even have synergy on my stuff? No, I have no poison synergy on my Boomerang. Well, that's going to be the next thing to get. Also, I mean, that is extra poison cloud, but I don't really need it. I am getting at least a little bit of extra damage off of having this scale with survival over tactics, so I think that's going to be best to kind of stick with that for the time being. It's not doing anything. Okay. Yeah, it's not going too bad so far. It's much like using the infantry grenade. It's less about getting damage out of the weapon and more about being able to apply status effects to enemies when it comes to using wave denial. So I really should be saving up a lot of money for doing that if possible. Then otherwise just getting a whole lot of health. And then getting a whole lot of synergies. I guess the one projectile that those guys can't spin away is... Let's go. Yeah, the one projectile those guys can't spin away is the... Ah, this is going to be bad. One good strategy in 4-cell mode is just try to spend as much time in the air as possible. Ah, damn it, man, I really got Malaised up there. Oh well, this is the point in time where I gotta use a potion charge then. And out. Oh, stressful, especially because 4-cell mode is also when... legendary ice grenade, eh? Especially because 4-cell mode is also when enemies will start to... elites will start to teleport to you even if you haven't attacked them once. So, once you've angered one of those guys, you've committed to fighting them forever. Enjoy that. If it's something like the box or that death aura guy that I saw earlier, you know, that might just be the end of the run. Depending on how much crowd control or, you know, damage you might have. That ice grenade actually probably would have been pretty good for preventing enemies from attacking me constantly like that one, but can't really take it. Not part of the run here. I'm at least going to, even if I'm not quite sticking to the spirit, I am at least going to be sticking to the letter of the law. Well, the conduct, whatever. Conducts, laws, they're all pretty much the same thing or whatever. I don't know. And we're good. This is also the point in time where it seems like I am getting quite a bit of damage. I am starting to finally have the boomerang really pop off as far as damage goes. Still would be better if I had some form... And watch out. Still would be better if I had some form of... poison synergy, but if I'm unable to get that, I'm still doing pretty okay despite it. Ha! Well, better make sure that I take these guys out before they do that. Ah, well. It's like I'm just going to get way too malaised up if I don't use the potion charge as of right now. Because at best, there's going to be one more food shop here, and then that's it for the rest of the run. And that's the ball game, people. So, gotta be as careful as possible about getting hit. Which, I mean, is really normally the name of the game, but here it has even more importance, regardless. I mean, it's the thing with 4-cell modes is that usually survival-based runs, unless you're using a ranged weapon like this one, don't actually go too well because you tend to get too malaised up before you can make anything really good happen. Slow weaponry just leads to you getting hit, and even if you're not getting hit for very much damage... Yeah, here we go. Even if you're not getting hit for very much damage, it's just a different type of damage, and it's annoying like that. That's why I always keep saying with Dead Cells is that there should be more ways that you can get rid of Malaise. Watch out, because he's doing it. He's doing the thing. They're both doing the thing. And there we go. Oh, that was really close. Yeah, there should be more ways to get rid of Malaise, because uninfected food, potion charges are too valuable. Uninfected food is too rare to come by. And stuff like using the heart is just kind of a grab bag on its own, so... Ah, I couldn't have dropped down onto that. It was a thorny. Whatever, easy enough, easy peasy anyway. And I think that's pretty much about all I'm going to be getting here. It seems like it's just like there should be like some sort of mutation or something that gets rid of points of Malaise, because that is just it's the biggest hindrance to doing well in 4-cell mode right now. More than almost anything else. Should I even go check out that? I feel like I'm doing pretty good as far as the wave of denial goes, so I'm not even going to go look at that one up there. Can't imagine it's going to be anything very good. Already missed all of the time doors here. Enemy kill door was never going to happen, especially with how I was playing. Yeah, well, you do get even more cells on this mode, and eventually I'm going to have to... Come on. One more. What a bad idea that was to go that hard into that. Yeah, eventually I am going to have to take a look at how cell grinding goes when you're in 4-cell mode, because I'm thinking that as soon as you get enough, you're either working with a good enough build, or you're either working with a good enough build, or you're able to, just to kill enemies well enough that you can hit every single time door and enemy kill door. Probably going to be way better than even 0-cell difficulty. But we'll see, because you can finish runs in 0-cell difficulty pretty easily and pretty quickly, which is what makes it so enticing as far as a cell grinding experience goes. Anyway, this is all just to say that I'm wasting time while I'm pretty handily beating up the concierge here. That was pretty good. It's like I could easily see this being incredible for some later parts of the game, but we'll see when I get there. Difficulty curve always tends to go up a little bit more of a, let's say, 90-degree angle by the time you get to the end of the game. Ooh, interesting. Interesting if true. I don't think I'm going to be taking the 100% damage taken, re-roll that immediately, but for right now, I like the look, I like the cut of this item's jib, at least. Also, one of the great things about legendary weapons is that they balance them by making it less expensive to reroll, so... Nope. There you go. Bleeds the enemy would probably be the other ideal way to go about doing that, but... I don't have a whole lot of money to be spending on that as of right now. I do have a lot of things like... The boomerangs pierce through enemies. And Victim Amidst Toxic Cloud is pretty good at taking out a whole ton of enemies at once, so I think Stilt Village is going to be the best option for right now. At some point in time, I am going to have to go for the Acceptance Blueprint again, but this doesn't... I guess as far as runs go, this is probably a better one, but for it, I mean, it's got good range and everything, but that's only going to take me so far. Hey. At least Wave of Denial, also good at taking down these guys because the cannonballs get deflected in the exact same way as any other projectile. Yeah, using stuff like a cannon, using stuff like... Yeah, the cannon, the, what is it, the bombardiers, everything like that get countered by Denial Wave or pretty well. And okay. Probably have a cursed chest down here that I'm going to attempt getting. Okay, that's interesting. I didn't realize that stops projectiles? Okay, interesting. No, I said interesting many times there, but that confused me earlier, so it's good to have it finally get confirmed that that is in fact how that works. Okay. And let's just take you guys out right now, and we're good. Good. It's like still hesitant to be walking around here cursed at all, but at the same time, especially with a guy like this here. Yeah, okay. But I could easily see this being a... This is a pretty good build for taking out a lot of enemies at once, obviously. Especially having that little bit of extra poison just erupting out of enemies whenever I hit them with the Yeah. Whenever I hit them with the wave denial. And there we go. All right, 15 points of survival. Not bad at all. Should probably be saving a few of these guys here just for extra curse chests, but I'm not doing that for some reason. Get rid of those guys so they don't screw me over when I get a curse. Oh boy. Well, you know, I expected this inaugural 4-cell run, Nightmare Mode run, to be going a lot worse, so I'm pretty impressed by this sort of build for right now. I can see why so many people were suggesting that I go double Boomerang. It's just... I want to say that it's definitely going to be a lot better of a run if you go survival over tactics. Potentially. 47 kills right now, not looking too shabby at all. Did I ever get the parry shield? I don't think I did. I gotta go do that at some point, where you're supposed to go over the big tower in the middle of this area. Yeah, I guess that should kind of slip my mind since I got all the runes and everything, didn't it? Okay, is this another curse chest? Because as much as I don't want to deal with another curse chest, I do kind of think that it is somewhat required as of right now just to get as many stats as I possibly can. And I'm really going to need everything I can get here for this run to work. There's 60. All right, well, that's good at least. And infected. Good stuff. I just got to look for that big old stink cloud around every single piece of food around here. Oh, boy. Uh-oh. Yep, there's where the bad stuff starts happening. But, it's the one thing that I could have countered well. Oh, that's really too bad. Oh, all right. Only a half hour for that last segment, so I gotta at least do one more. I mean, you gotta pad these things out to feature-length movies, after all. And no, you know what? I'm not even going to take Curse Chest this time. I think that's where I went wrong once again. Especially because I have a lot of very good stuff going on in this run. 3 extra points of survival coming from my amulet. The Wave of Denial, the legendary Wave of Denial I got in the last area is incredible. 100% damage inflicted on enemies as well as poison. It's like, nah, I'm doing pretty good. 2 S-rank boomerangs, both with 100% on poison. I'm feeling good. I don't think I need to risk my life for a couple extra stats, which would probably kill me anyway. We'll see kind of how I feel at the end of this area, but for right now, Okay, and that's already a bad sign for the future, but I'm gonna continue on with it anyway. Oh well. 17 points of survival is pretty good to be having at this point in the game. And I'm already starting to kind of work out my issues with damage as well. There we go. Yeah, Boomerang, I've been fairly impressed with what I've been getting out of this weapon. I kind of thought that it would be pretty good, especially because I think this is the only survival weapon that you can double tap, you know, have out a whole bunch of them at a single point in time. But also, it's just the many small hits just does a lot more breach and a lot more damage overall to bosses than I was thinking that I was going to get. It's why I think that... that was very close. That's why I'm thinking that this would be the sort of ideal, I mean, aside from just using ice shards and everything again, this would actually be a pretty good run to go take to the hand of the king. Of course, the real question is, am I going to be able to get there? Because as good as it is, it means nothing if you can't complete the journey, after all. Yeah, I'll just do that. It's always really nice to know that worst comes to worst, you always have the ability to just Wave of Denial those cannonballs away. Something which a lot of other runs have lacked, certainly. Oh, come on now. There we go. All right, big money. Oh, no, this isn't the food shop. I was kind of hoping to get 2 points of... nothing here worth it. I was kind of hoping to get like 2 pieces of food that are uninfected right now, maybe bring me down to 0 infection rate, but it doesn't really seem like that's likely to happen this time. And since I'm here... Good generation, man. I was gonna go for the parry shield, but I guess not. Oh well. There's always next time. I tend to go to this place a lot. Try again. Okay, try also even more times. Ooh. Got really close to getting a face full of cannonball again. I don't know if I would have survived that, so... Alright, good. I do think that I am maybe being a little overly risky. This isn't really the time to be doing that right now. But at the same time... Oh well, that's... I should be able to survive at least 1 blow by now. I got like a good 30% extra health from... Oh, this is going to be an issue. From where I was at previously. God. The one nice thing about the crystal buddy there that is helping out that elite is that it does not comparatively cause malaise, which is a very welcome thing. I guess it's considered a summoned enemy. Summoned enemies do not cause malaise, only enemies that actually exist in level. So, for example, the various little worms that are spawned from... The various worms that are spawned from the exploding zombies around here don't cause malaise, but the worms that you find that are just, like, hatched from, say, these things do. So be careful. Oh god, why are they all completely concentrated in a single room at this point in time? Motion Twin, why do you do that to me? I mean, I know that they're terrible at any point in the game, but I'm gonna put 50 of them in a single room now? That's the solution, right? Especially a room that you need to go into. Oh, this is gonna be an issue. All right, it's a really good thing that I am next to the food shop right now. Ah, take me home, food man. And here. Motion Twin? I would like to register a formal complaint. Yeah, thanks, dude. Huh. Alright then. I don't think I've ever actually even noticed that there was a refund there until, I don't know what I want to say, the last episode that I did here. And certainly didn't even try it out. And I see that apparently I was right to do it like that. Refund for, or restock so that I could, you know, maybe get a little bit more, No? No, ain't happening? Alright then, fine. You know, first off, I've been going to the Sepulchre for way too many times now. And second off, I do think that... I'm not even going to bother with that. It's probably a curse chest and I don't want to take it. And second off, there's enough... This is a vertically oriented area. Enemies will be teleporting to me all the time, so I should be able to drop them into spikes a lot. Maybe? Good counter against the cannibals that are going to appear in this area, even though that was the reason that I said that I didn't want to... Oh, okay. Even though I said that I didn't want to go into the... Anything of interest? Nah, not really. Even though I said that I didn't want to go into the ramparts because there were cannibals in there. Oh, well, it's fine. It's fine. Oh, I got the torch? I didn't even realize that. All right, cool. Yeah, I think I picked it up in the ossuary when I was going through that area and just completely forgot about it. And Tainted Flask, because sure. Tainted Flask is pretty good. Gives you a huge boost in... I was hoping for extra damage to poison targets. No such luck. Might be able to get that in the next area. Probably not. Hope springs eternal, though. I mean, it might have been able to reroll that once more if I didn't waste money trying to restock the 150, not even worth it. Restock that food shop back there. That's the last point that you have to get any amount of reliable malaise healing. It can still appear. Just now it's a total grab bag as to if it's going to appear or not. Good. I was kind of thinking that they might have avoided getting crushed there, but they most definitely did not. Yeah, I think I should be totally fine in this area. Still annoying that I'm not getting quite as much damage as I could possibly be getting as of right now. 250 is nice and all, but 400% that I would have gotten is better. Yeah, that's one of the reasons why cannibals are so well countered by the Wave of Denial. The little retaliatory grenade is shot right back at them with my Wave of Denial going on right now. Okay. There is a curse chest here. Probably don't want to go for it, though. Had so many... Now, one of the things the Motion Twin did say when they were... Alright, let's go. When they were designing the 1.1 update was that they did want to try to, you know, make it so that you almost needed to take curse chests in 4-cell mode just to make it that much more difficult, put that many more risk factors into it and everything. Because otherwise, how are you going to have enough stats to deal with the now no longer scaling with anything enemies? And I still kind of think that's maybe a little harsh because, as always, curses are a little harsh. One-hit kills are one thing. But one-hit kills for that many times in the game, and if you go through like if you go through like the graveyard, you're gonna get like at least 5 or 6 different cursed chests in there alone. And why not just take a few more? If I'm able to take down the Timekeeper, I would like to get as many cells into the Legendary Forge as I possibly can. And the exact same guy. Well, the exact same type of elite. How much more health do I get from it? Almost 2,000 points. I'll take it. That's also 5 extra points of damage reduction, which is obviously not a lot, but hey, it's something. I mean, really, after I nearly got killed in one hit in that previous area, I'm worried about dying to just lose my health more than anything else as of right now. Alright, what do you got? Anything? Nah, it's all kind of the same. Yeah, and there you can see, even with the legendary scaling, hitting an enemy against the wall, which does extra damage, it's still not that much. 4,000. That's a half as much if I got the poison going on with a single second of boomerang hits happening. Oh, is that infected? It absolutely is. Alright. After having elites explode and shove me into spikes that many times, that feels pretty good. Nope! Yeah, there's a pretty hard hit. Enjoy, my dude. I can see the scroll right there, but I can't get at it. Okay. Always gotta remember that you really need to open up every single one of the teleporters as you get to them in the clock tower, because otherwise backtracking becomes a lot more obnoxious. Yeah, how did I completely miss this going around here? Oh, well, got it now. Alright. Now, I do think that if I do manage to get to the castle, and especially the Hand of the King fight, I am going to switch out to a more optimal set of mutations, just because I feel like this is something that could go up against the dude pretty well comparatively. I mean, how many times have I died to the grenades that the hand throws, and You know, that could be entirely avoided here. 50 kills, that's getting pretty good. Maybe potentially get an S rank upgrade to my Boomerang that has 100% on poison in the next area. Something to go for, certainly, if nothing else. An aspiration to be had. Sure, let's just see. It doesn't really seem like I'm going to be getting too much for shops, but maybe there's a few more enemies to kill in here. There weren't. And yeah, shops 175 versus 250 and 2 stats. Nah. Nah. Have to offer something way better to make me want to get that. Lore room? Sure. Which one is it? Oh, it's just the tanks. Maybe these like cell doors lead to some sort of alternate dimension or something, which is why they can just be suspended in mid-air like that. Wouldn't really surprise me considering what we know of the Alchemist. He did seem to be... Well, I mean, if he is the Collector, he does have reality warping powers thanks to the dead cells. Or at least something approaching that, if nothing else. Sort of like pocket dimensions, Harry Potter, room of requirement type of things. Come on, man! Can I get my 60? Yeah, okay, I actually am at 60 right now. That's all I wanted. Because I was... Oh, thank you. Thank you, that is so kind. And what are you? 3 points of tactics? As much as I would like that 75% reduction on projectiles, ain't worth it. Okay, well, at least got the 60, so now all I need to do is just survive the rest of this area, and... Well, now that's it, isn't it? And then screw it, I'm switching out to the good mutations this time. Just because I'm feeling confident. I've got some real confidence in my ability to get somewhere in this run, which considering this is not even remotely close to my 100% save file or whatever, and I'm using kind of a different build than I would normally do. It's a bold claim to be making, certainly. I remember the first time that I got here and I had to actually go into that room to get that key. What a harrowing experience that I hope I never have to relive. 20 points of survival should also, if I take Necromancy, give me 3% healed on each kill, which will definitely help a lot as well. Okay, I'm going to give one quick look-see-loo over to the other tower. Maybe there's some other stat to get, maybe there's nothing, but at least I'll know. If I get door advantage, I can probably blitz down whatever enemy's in there pretty fast. Still not hitting him with the one that does poison damage, but that's fine. The blitz down did occur in the exact way that I described. I'm going to be very careful. There we are. Okay, 64,000. Which, yeah, sure. Oh, come on, man. 64,000, which is probably enough to at least get one reroll on my Boomerang. See if I can get that 100% on poisoned, and that'll do it. I got hit there, which is not great, but I'm gonna tell you right now, I have a distinct feeling that I am going to probably use at least one potion charge by the end of this fight. Because I haven't been doing great against the Timekeeper lately. Let's just put it like that. Yeah, let's just put it that way. What you got? 100% on poison. There it is. All right, all right. Yeah, I think that you're the one that I'm going to be going for. Let's replace you for right now. I'm going to try re-rolling the other Boomerang once. If I don't get what I want, I'll just take the other one. Regardless of what happens, I will get my 100% on poison. And there we are. It's been chosen for me. Oh well, that 50% extra damage could have been useful, but not if I'm not getting the synergies that I need right now. Alright, you. It's going to be going you, and what was the other one that I wanted? I don't know, let's say disengagement would probably be good. Yeah, sure. Disengagement is definitely very good. It's the sort of thing that would have saved me previously and might continue to save me in the upcoming area. We'll see. Well, at least she likes to run into it, into the boomerangs pretty well. Of course. Thankfully, that does stun her long enough. Now, that doesn't mean that she's going to be stunned every single time I do that, but for the first couple times, and then it'll wear off. It's like, that's really all I need. Oh, that's the bad stuff. Ah, and there's the Malaise again. And there's disengagement, but that's fine. That's all I need to happen. It's going to be pretty rough going from this point, but should at least have one more potion charge to help me out here. Yeah, it really works best if you have some sort of crowd control in the form of... Well, I guess turrets actually don't block the shots anymore for... They used to block the shurikens that she threw, but no longer. Hey, 25%, not bad. Yeah, I used to block the shurikens she threw, so you could kind of block her from getting a bunch of Malaise on you doing that. Something like Tornado could be good. Any sort of ice. You know, your ice bow, ice blast, ice crossbow. Just something that would prevent her from slamming you with a whole ton of... Just get over here. Anything. As much preventing attacks as possible. Yeah, it really does look like it is going to be... Oh wow, did some biters kill something down there? Alright then. But yeah, it really does look like it's going to be a Malaise battle for the rest of this now. It's going to be quite harrowing. Alright, there we go. I can't believe I didn't get hit by that, but I'm not going to argue anyway. Get into those spikes. I'm glad. I still got Malaised, but at least I didn't die from that. Okay, come on. I'll just take whatever at this point to do before... I'll take anything at this point to get the keys. I don't really think that there's anything that I'm very strong or weak against as far as the mini-boss fights go, so whatever is handed to me is good. These guys, I want to say, probably not going to be too big of an issue, especially if they get poisoned like that. I'm getting way more out of interrupting attacks from the Wave of Denial than I expected. I mean, just that one example in the Timekeeper fight alone, I'd say was probably 100% worth it. All right, teleport in here. You already did your spinning move, so I'm not really worried about anything else you got to offer here. You're not a Thorny, so you won't be teleporting to me while attacking. Which, I mean, if there was one enemy to do that, it would probably be the Lacerator. And if there was another one, it would be the Guardian Knight. And let's go. Let's go. Well, there's one key down. 2 to go. I'm not going to get all 3 keys. 1 to go. What am I even saying? I'm going to get 3 keys. Hey, girl, you know I don't like to get 3 keys this time. And there we go. Also, obviously, number one thing, is finding the exit. Because the keys should be coming soon enough. I mean, you can find... There's 2 entrances to every single one of these things, and only 1 exit to this area. Infected, okay. Wouldn't really matter, couldn't eat it anyway with that inside. Working with that. Alright, come on, come on. Got a good chance. I'm feeling alright. Gonna have to watch out for that Guardian. Probably should not be... Okay, I don't know why I decide to risk jumping up into that area at that point in time, but it was okay anyway. All right, there we go, there we go. How many times have I said all right so far? It sounds like I'm outcast over here. However, that's how you know I'm stressed. If I'm saying all right, so it's like that's how you know that this is the real thing. The real what? The real Faith No More album. Anyway, let's go. Let's go. I got this. I got this. Hopefully. I mean, I'm not going to say... It is a little bit presumptuous at this point in time to say that I got this, but at the same time... Oh, wow, both these are great. Would it be worth switching? Probably not. I do like having the 100% damage. I guess maybe switching out the S rank Wave of Denial, but that would lose me 2 points of tactics. And that is a ton of health to be losing at this point in time. So probably don't want to be messing around with that. Roll right through that. And then he's going to come down here. All right. Maybe go the other way. I'm just looking for a single extra key. And that's all I need to be able to get out of here. And this will do it. This is also probably the easier of the 2 fights that were remaining. So I'm not too disappointed in that at all. Ooh, and that's bad. This is actually bad enough that I'm just going to take a potion charge, because I'm not worried as much about health as I am about... Okay, there. And okay. Yeah, I think the best way to be taking out the Guardian Knights is just to let them do their spin move and then teleport to you, because the slash is not too difficult to deal with comparatively at all. Okay. Still doing okay here. Well, this is going to be unfortunate, but I think I should be able to deal with it anyway. Good. Nope. Okay, gonna have that Guardian Knight teleport to me or not. Maybe I got far enough away from him, outside of his pole range, or whatever the terminology you use for that, because I don't really remember. It's been a while since I played an MMO, after all. Either way, this is the real shot that I got at the final boss on 4-cell mode, which is surprising that I'm already here, but let's see how it goes. Almost 25 points in tactics. I'm feeling mostly confident. I'm not actually feeling all that confident. I don't know why I said that. Here, you know what? Let's get everything just completely knocked out here right now. Because I'm not going to be finding any more... I'm not going to be finding any more items in the next area. So let's just do this to be very irritating, one. Like all those animations. Like that drum in the background. And, sure. Holy crap. That was amazing. Anyway, get rid of you. Could try re-rolling some stuff if I felt like it, but I also think that that might be... Well, do I want any... No, I really can't take any of these, because of the conditions of the run. Right. What are you even thinking? Also, they're really not that powerful. They're only plus 100. That's terrible. Don't really think there's too much else that I want here either, so I could re-roll my mutations to be something different, but you know what? Nah, I think I've got everything I need in my toolkit to have the best chance against this boss that I possibly could. Let's go. Okay, roll right past him, throw the boomerangs the opposite direction, because otherwise I just collect them immediately. Didn't have any of my waves of denial ready for that. Okay, come on, you. Gotta wait until he gets rid of all of those. Or that he throws every one of those things, because otherwise bad things could happen. Still got hit by it. Come on. All right, there's phase 2. Don't get hit by the elites, because those do a lot of damage. Right. Okay, there's disengagement. Oh my god, I beat 4-cell mode on my first try. Huh. Well, that was not what I expected to... All right then. That's, huh.